This is everything. Midnight. I'm organizing my belongings. I stuffed my original clothes, as well as other memorable items in the suitcase. I'm going to leave this place by myself without telling any of the others. There's this girl online. I'm an artificially created monster. Deep down, I've always believed that one day the poison would be removed and that I'd be a normal person. I know that I'm not even human. It's not that I'm listening to Finnis, but because I'm a monster, I can't allow myself to rely on Lupin and the others here anymore. Is my mic even working? Is it? Yes, it is. Okay. Just wanted to make sure OBS was still doing it. Oh, I forgot we're still in Suffering Land. We are. We're gonna be in it for a little bit. If I myself am terrified of what I'm thinking, what must the others be thinking? Ziva's cute girl. You're too sweet. I'm CC. CC whines as if telling me to stay, and my hands stop in their work. I'm sorry, CC, but I have to go. I can't trouble everybody any longer. I pick up the suitcase and go out into the hallway. In truth, it's not really about troubling them or anything. I just can't meet their eyes. I turned out to be a real monster. Just a doll created by a man to imitate the appearance of a human. The others here might look at me the same way that the villagers had in the past. And because they got involved with me, they might end up like Elaine. I step outside the mansion. Then you deserve what's steadfast. So do you. I need to get away before they discover that I've left. But my determination wavers and I can't help but look back, both at the mansion and back in my memory. I think on Van Helsing for some reason. Gee, maybe because we're on his route. When I first met him, he seemed like such a scary person. But as I got closer to him, I realized that was just his exterior. His kindness was in his actions, not his words, and it saved me so many times. Now that Finnis is gone, is he really going to give his life up to Delacroix too? I can't possibly understand the problem between the two of them. But what will Deli do? It may just be wishful thinking, but could it truly be possible for him and Van Helsing to reach an understanding? I shake off this thought and take a deep breath. Wasting time thinking here won't change anything. I need to leave this place. Let's go. I tell myself this and start walking away. It's Cardia's inner Choco talking. Thank you all for everything. When we play next route and we go to, oh no. When we go to the next, if we do the next route and we go on Victor's, we should name the Cardi Uruko. 2 years ago. Explosions go off all around. Oh, it's okay, Choco. It's cute. The flames will soon engulf this castle. Cardi, I can't stop thinking about Van for some reason. Van, I wonder why why it's not like we're in a game. Delacroix Castle, Castle of the Vampires. Why do you hold back? The leader of the entire vampire race, Delacroix, king of the Nosferatu, holds his sword ready to strike. You will never defeat me if you allow yourself the slightest hesitation. His opponent is a master of battle, born a warrior, Abraham Van Helsing, otherwise known as the Human Weapon. Slowly aims his gun. There is a reason why I cannot back down. I have one as well.
The fate of an entire race rests upon my shoulders. I understand, Van Helsing. Let's not bring petty anger and grudges into this. I swear by this sword, I engage you in this battle as not but a single swordsman. I will never forget what you did for me. Save it for after you've defeated me. Let's just see how much your human body has been able to master the fighting techniques I've granted you. I shall have your head. Telecrux jumps forward with extraordinary speed, dodging Van Helsing's bullets with superhuman ultracity. The silver blade shines in the flames. The two men clash. Oh no, there's a message on Tumblr. What is it? Oh my god. Nosferatu. The sound of birds chirping is heard. That dream again. Van Helsing thinks as he wakes up. Oh yeah, when you start a boy's part, you also get it from their point of view. I suppose it won't just fade into the past so easily. He sits up and runs his hand through his delvish hair. Here you go, Chaco. He shuts his eyes tightly, driving the remnants of the dream from his mind and thinking about the future. Finis is dead. In the end, we didn't have to kill him, and his death was all too simple. Even so, this heavy feeling, like lead weights, show no signs of getting lighter, and he sinks even further into a deeper place. He killed Finis once before in the past. Using his own shotgun, he blew the boy's head off. Oh no, audio issues. Let me see.
No, the mic still says it should be working. Let's see if that's any better. There's Choco. But still, he somehow came back to life. And now he can't deny the possibility that Finis may rise again. The boy's methods of immortality remains a secret. I don't know what kind of audio issues she's having because I've been using the same one. When he visited the laboratory again after that incident, most of the documents had been removed by someone. Suddenly he recalls the sight of Cardia standing next to Finis's dead body. His old enemy was the family to Cardia. Oh, yeah, I was kind of lowering my voice. I'm sorry, I'll bring the mic closer. There we go. But there's no need to mourn Finis's death, but... damn it. He feels frustration building. Is this frustration against himself, or... Van Helsing! Are you up? Van Helsing! Victor, it's too early to be making this much noise. It's bad! It's Cardia! She's gone! What? A few hours earlier. I'm terribly sorry. The last train to Wells has already left. I see. Railroad service starts again tomorrow morning. Could you please come back then? Can I wait here? I'm sorry. We need to have you leave since we have to inspect and clean the station. Right. I understand. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more help. Oh, and we've been hearing a lot of disturbing stories lately, so please stay safe. Disturbing stories? Haven't you heard? Here, look at the latest edition of this newspaper. He hands me a paper from the bench. The New Britain Post. Could you join biker gang? Follow Gabriel's wife's steps. The same newspaper had been printed on the wanted notice for Victor. While the training maker want to fight everyone. Jack the Ripper escapes custody.
Serial killer Jack Blackman, aka Jack the Ripper, has been transferred to Newgate Prison when he escaped with the help of an unknown accomplice, Scotland Yard admitted today. Jack the Ripper is a serial killer who has so far targeted only women. He has since disappeared. Scotland Yard has not been able to find Jack's base of operations as of yet. Ranking Yard officers decided to attempt capturing Jack in secret to gain control public knowledge of the escape. Yep, we're hitting that. Queen Victoria was enraged by this concealment and demanded the resignations of Commissioner Robert Bentony and others. She has placed the leader of her Imperial Guard, Rimpart Leonhart, in charge of recapturing Jack the Ripper. The Yard has posted a huge reward for Jack, making the citizens of London aware of this ongoing manhunt. It is said that Jack the Ripper has murdered between 13 and 20 individuals, though the total has yet to be determined. His methods include slashing the throats of his victims and then removing the internal organs to collect them. He is extremely brutal, if you haven't guessed. Jack the Ripper? That sounds like a terrible name. After I read the article, I look up with no small amount of discomfort. It's all anyone in London talks about. He might as well be wandering around some back alley as we speak. It's terrifying. You better be careful. I see. Thank you. The station employee smiles and leaves. So, for now I had to leave the station. Guardian has nothing to fear. Your prison will do the job. That's no good. I'm not off to a very good start. I thought we'd go back to the mansion in Wales where I'd been sleeping. If I investigate that mansion again, I might be able to find more clues leading to Father. You got fish, shoot, punch him. That was my plan at least, but yes, I'm stuck here tonight. Suddenly feel helpless. Guardian to Jack the Ripper. I hear footsteps. Oh, wait. I hear footsteps and I turn around in surprise. It's just a random man walking along without paying attention. There's nothing threatening about him. If only everyone in Van Helsing were by my side right now, I could punch several men. I'm disappointed in myself for being so disheartened by such a small thing when I had left the mansion so determined. To begin with, there's no reason for Van Helsing to want anything to do with me. His objective was to kill Finnis. Now that that's been accomplished, his reason for cooperating with Lupin and the others is gone. That makes me completely worthless to him. Even if he notices that I've left, there's no reason for him to come after me. Will I ever see him again? No, I need to accomplish my mission. I shake my head and cleared of my sinking feelings. I can't go back to the mansion now, so I'll walk along the crowded shopping district and wait for morning to catch a train. St. Germain taught me that there was places in London that stay open all night. The poor part of town should be nearby. I decided to head for the lower class area of the city. The commercial districts there are usually more lively at night. As long as I can blend in and act accordingly, it should be a safer place than here, where the streets are deserted. Lupin gave me a good lesson on how to act in different areas of the city. I thought she said, man, that makes me worthless. What a useless dude. That's where I'll go. I make my way to the shopping district. Although it's somewhat closer to the center of Steel Linden, this is a poorer area. This poverty-stricken neighborhood was left virtually untouched, even after the reconstruction of London. More accurately, the reconstruction brought this part of the city's features even more. I remember St. Germain happily talking about it. Whitechapel, the entertainment district, a sleepless city. This is where the citizens go to relax. The government turns a blind eye to it, seeing it as a necessary evil. Whoa, hey, you're cute. How about you come over here and play some naughty games with us? Games? No, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. Haha, rejected. A girl like her isn't gonna pay you any mind. Sorry, girlie. I'll take this guy out of your hair. Take it easy. Wait, Chapel. A beautiful woman grabs the man by the collar and the two of them move along. the reek of alcohol lingering behind them.
It really is lively here.
Wonder what he meant by naughty get. Oh, poor Cardia. No! I said Whitechapel way before the text mentioned it. Maybe gambling. Lupin would probably be happy to join. I forgot about that. Either way, I'll spend the night in this part of town on the main streets. There are enough people here. There's still time until morning. I suddenly feel a sense of disquiet. Thank you, drunk lady, was about the time. I've been hearing the same set of footsteps through the noises of the crowd. It might be a coincidence that this person has been following me the whole time, but it might not be. I resist the urge to turn around and take a look. Instead, I keep up my pace and turn turn three corners down random streets. I listen behind me as I walk, trying to hear the footsteps that alerted me. I don't hear them anymore in the crowd. I thought that I was being tracked. Perhaps I'm being paranoid. Suddenly someone grabs me from behind and drags me backwards into the darkness. I'm taken completely off guard and I'm being pulled into a back alley without being able to resist. I try with all my strength to get away, but nothing budges. Whoever is holding me is very powerful. Somebody! When I try and call out, a gloved hand wraps around my mouth. To my surprise, the glove doesn't melt. Like, poison doesn't work on it? Other than the clothing Victor had made for me and what I had left at the mansion, no one should have known a material like this. I try my hardest to resist, but I can't move at all. Well, time to gamble, Curtis, and now he gives. What? I notice the faint smell on the surface of the glove. It smells a little bit sweet. As soon as I smell that, I lose all the strength in my body. Then, good night, lady. That's all I hear before I lose consciousness. Of course. I hear drops of water falling. Again and again. My head hurts. My wrists hurt. I'm sitting on something. For some reason, my body is heavy, and I can't even bring myself to open my eyes. A putrid odor invades my nose. This isn't St. Germain's mansion. That's right. I left the mansion, and then I start to return to my senses. I struggle to open up my eyes, fighting the pain in my head. I see a channel of flowing sewage water. It's stench. Yeah! I suddenly hear a scream. Is someone there? I call out, but there's no response. The screams continue for a while, and then abruptly stop. What could be happening? Why am I tied here? Where am I? Who captured me? Is Twilight behind this? And that woman screams. These questions fill my head, and they added to the fact that I can't move, cause an unknown terror to spread through me. Well, I'm not at St. Germain's house, so at least time is after me. Of course, their poison wouldn't work. It doesn't work for plot reasons. I hear footsteps. Slowly, with long strides. There's no question. This is the person who was following me. I hear a cheerful voice humming a tune. Such a happy song is not fitting at all in this dismal situation, making everything seem much more eerie. He's got scissors. The humming man appears, wearing a mask and holding a pair of scissors. Well, two scissors, but yeah. His clothes are so elegant as to be out of place here. It smells like blood. The unique scent, like that of fresh blood, wafts from his entire body. You're awake.
Perhaps the medicine was too strong, even at, even almost 3 days since you fell asleep. That man's voice is muffled behind the mask. Who was that screaming? What are you gonna do to me? Oh! Hmm, I'll tell you everything. First, that scream was earlier was my way of killing time until you woke up. Oh, and when I was killing time, I wasn't being figurative. It's all part of the proper purge.
Purge?
Oh, yes, that woman wasn't pure. She was taking customers in the entertainment district.
Oh man, I didn't know you could sit for pocket mirrors in this game. Oh jeez.
Most impure. So I simply purged her. Such people only deserve the most agonizing of deaths.
Then the woman who was screaming.
She undoubtedly feeding the flames of hell right now.
How could you? I'm shocked, but there's something about this man's voice.
Don't worry, I won't do anything to you. You haven't been tainted yet, have you?
You're the train station employee. I can almost see the face behind the mask break into a smile.
I'm impressed that you can tell. You're right. I was waiting for you, waiting for our encounter. I apologize for only introducing myself now. My name is Jack Blackman. I've also been known as, I've also been called Jack the Ripper.
So you're... Then Jack gave me an article about his own murder spree?
Why did you capture me?
Jack the Ripper is for vendetta.
I was ordered by a certain someone who saved me from being carted off to prison.
A certain someone? For a moment I think Finis, but...
No, I saw his last breath right before my eyes.
Oh, he's one of those guys who follows the Bible, and if you show your shoulder in public, he chases you. Then who? Actually, the original Jack the Ripper did cut up ladies, who were prostitutes. If I'm right, there were accounts that he did kill some men, but it was mostly ladies.
You have no idea who I'm talking about, do you? They said you knew them. Well, whatever the case, the time for an exchange is not far off.
I don't know who this person he's talking about is, but judging by the people that they know, they must be evil. My future probably won't be too bright if I'm handed over to that person.
Don't glare at me like that. It makes me want to try all kinds of things. I don't want to hurt you. I want to hand you over to this certain someone, and I wouldn't want to disappoint them.
Ah, I know Jack the Ripper. I'm not surprised you do. He chuckles to himself as he says this.
Does killing these women bring you joy? Joy? No. As I said earlier, it was all part of a purge. This is the trial that was given to me. God has told me that I must spend eternity in isolation, and that it is my duty to bring about a great purge on this earth.
Going around killing women is part of your great purge?
That's right. Everyone looks at me like that. But that person was different. They understood me. Ah, they must have been an angel sent by God. They are trying to bring the gospel upon this world. A beautiful world. They promised that they would show me a beautiful new world. For that to become real, I must purge. My purge must continue.
Do we see Jack under the mask? Uh, if I'm correct, we don't get a profile picture him under the mask. I think it does come off in a scene, but we don't get to see it under the mask. I'm just gonna close the door a little bit more so I don't bother my parents. I bet if he took his mask off, it's another mask. I like that idea. His eyes are no longer on me, and he's staring out into nothingness.
Lord, please watch over me. Watch over and guide the actions of your
Leal serv. I don't know that word. That's a weird word. Then, with his eyes glistening behind the mask, he turns to me once more. Cardia, show me your face. Jack, K. Cardia, wait, what are you doing? Takes it off. It's just another one. There's sounds of scissors opening and closing as he approaches. So here's the thing. Jack's chapter is a lot. If you make the wrong choices, you die. So you can tell which choices I made before, which because they're green. But for the sake of this, I'm gonna show you the one what happens if you resist. He'll kill me if I don't do something. Fear forces me to twist my body to create some sort of distance between us. Gah! I fall to the ground, chair and all. This loosens the rope. Maybe I can escape my bindings now. The thought crosses my mind, but a gunshot ricochets off the floor right next to my ear. I feel completely helpless. He wouldn't give me that chance. This isn't what that person wanted. But you're not worthy of them. I shall condemn you right here, right now. More gunshots hit the floor right beside my head. I hear you have an unusual physique. You'd probably melt a bullet with the same as you melt everything else. But you still feel pain. Z question, does just Saint Germain have a brother? I feel like they're bros with people. Well, it doesn't come up in word reference, but it's loyal, so it reminds me. Yeah, I think it's an older word for loyal. No, Saint Germain does not have a brother. As far as I know. I never got far in the sequels yet. Don't worry. I have plenty of clothing for you to change into, little by little. Let's cut away your sins. Oh no! I look up helplessly as he raises the gun and I scream in agony. Game end. Bye, Cardia. Okay, now we go back. Now we don't be dumb. What kind of flesh and blood would I see if I sliced open your skin? What will your voice sound like as you cry out in pain and fear? Just imagining it. Ah, truly, just the thought of it brings me ecstasy. Dude, you need to chill. Oh no! The scissors are now so close to my face they're practically touching my eye. Will he cut me? I feel a scream building up deep in my throat at that thought. But he raises the scissors slightly and cuts at my bangs. The hair drifts to the floor. You're shaking. How marvelous. God will surely be pleased with such an obedient lamb like you. Anyway, Chuck, I was kidding. He was joking. That's such a bliss. I know, but just in case. I will return when the time comes. There are things I must attend to. Jack gently brushes my cheek and slowly walks away from me. Who sent me a message? Oh, my dad sent me a message. Now I'm alone with my thoughts in the water. I keep silent and listen to his footsteps as he walks away. Once I can't hear him anymore, I allow myself a small breath. I escaped immediate danger, but only for a little while. Oh, come on, this is stupid. I realize that my whole body is quivering. With shock or relief, I don't know. When I was in Wales, I gave no thought to the idea of death, but now that notion terrifies me. I need to get out of here. My wrists are tied tightly behind my back, and my arms are around the back of the chair. When he kidnapped me, Jack touched my face with his gloves, yet they didn't melt. How does it work? He likely knew about my poison beforehand and thought it was ways to deal with it. Cardi, but my guy, I want food though. Like, I'm hungry. Like, my guy, I want a burger. Also, I want to see my dog. Oh, and he left. Just bring me my dog. I'm fine. There can't be that many people who know about my poison. Jack also said he was working under orders. Who could have told him about me? Maybe him? Maybe Mickey Mouse Boy? Was it Finnis? Van Helsing did say Finnis was immortal. If that's true, well, I think this. I try to move my wrists little by little. It's a method Lupin taught me on freeing myself from ropes. I really appreciate all the training that I received from everyone. Lupin probably would have freed himself from these restraints like a magic trick. I can too, as long as I have time. Stay calm, keep at it. If Jack returns and sees me trying to escape, there's no telling what I'll do. I focused long and hard for a long time, straining my nerves, as a result of my persistent work against the ropes. Gee, I wonder. I'm out! I sigh in relief and reach down to untie the ropes up by my feet. He's coming back! The more I panic about the approaching footsteps, the more difficult the simple task of untying a rope feels. I don't have time! I have to melt the rope. I take off my gloves and press my bare hands against the rope around my ankles. Even as the rope melts, the footsteps draw nearer and nearer. I grab hold of the worn rope and tear it apart before it melts completely. Finnis, aka the boy who would cry and beg his dad to go to Disney World, but he never takes him, and he took Cardia to Disney World, so Finnis hates Cardia. I thought you said finish. Yes, it's finished. Thank you, Ruko. I quickly stand up and look around me, but there isn't a single way out except the way that Jack is approaching from. There's no time to think or to be scared. I start running as silently as I can. I see someone's shadow around the corner. Yeah! What? I put my weight into my entire body and the shoulder charge slamming into Jack the moment he appears. This is my most powerful attack, taught to me by Van Helsing when he trained me in self-defense combat. Bye, nerd. Caught off guard, Jack flies back and smashes against the wall. With him out of the way, I run as fast as I can down the path. I turn right and then left through a maze. No matter how fast Jack is, it will take time for him to recover from that hit. I can outrun him. As I'm running, I come across a single rusted door. I can see light coming from around the edges. The way out. I try and open up the door, but it's locked. It won't open. No! I can hear Jack approaching from behind me, and he must have already caught up. And he must know that this is a dead end because his steps are slowly and steady. Yes! Oh my god, cardio! I love cardio! What do I do? Okay. So here's the thing. If you try and melt the door, he catches up to you and you get killed. That one's kind of an uneventful death, so I'm not gonna go with that one, so we want to find another route. I have to give up on this door. Is there any way I can run to? I quickly look up around me and find a path. Red dots spot the floor, creating a line into the darkness. Just go there! I have a bad feeling about this, but there's no other way. The sound of approaching footsteps urges me on, and I make my way down a gently descending path. Then, I arrive at a place that has to be hell. Oh, it's a wall covered in blood. This is... Even in the dim light I can tell. Red, red, red scattered everywhere. The immense smell of iron and fat makes me sick. And I look harder and see large chunks lying there, and there's pools of red. No! Could this be? Or could those be? Welcome to my purge garden. You weren't formally invited here, but I suppose that can't be helped now. I look around at his voice and discover that Jack has already been caught up with me. This... where you killed the woman. I love this. Oh! As I've already said, it's a purge, a mission of divine benevolence sent to me by God. Murder is not a divine mission. What are you saying? You yourself have killed, haven't you? What? Man, Jack really sucks at pouring ketchup in his plate. Why are you pouring ketchup in a sewer? He suddenly grabs me by both arms and pushes me up against the wall, his eerie mask close up to my face. Oh,
Should I say that people have died because of you? Is that better? I can tell. Those who wear death have a certain scent about them.
Let go! I try and move away, but he's too strong. Or he sucks at meatballs since he's always dropping tomato sauce everywhere. This means he's just getting tomato sauce on the ceiling as well.
Don't even try to fight me. I've been in my fair share of scuffles. I don't recommend resistance, but if you want to die, if your death ends up being because of forced manger, I'm sure that person would understand.
Oh no.
However, I wasn't told that I can't harm you at all. This chasing game is growing to be rather annoying. Oh, yes. Let me trim some flesh off of your legs. You'll stay put then.
With that, Jack points the shears at my legs. He's really gonna.
Stand back, filth.
What? Bye! A thunderous sound pierces the darkness and Jack suddenly is thrown back. I hear an all too familiar sound. Oh shoot! X button went too far. It's saved me countless times.
You seem to be alright for the time being. With the light from the lantern that Jack drops shining on his face, he pulls me towards him with his usual gruffness.
He holds me tightly with one arm. Van Helsing! I look up, seeing his face close up in a way that I never have before. I feel like I haven't seen him in a long time. Are you hurt? Cry. Sir, I would like to know that, like, if you don't do that, my dog will fight you. He really dislikes mean people. Wait, here, hold it. I have the right picture for this. There we go. There. Now it's perfect. Good. Oh no, I broke her. H. Okay. Okay, it's good. We're good now. Are you hurt? No, I'm fine, man. Thank you for coming to save me. You're pretty cool. So you leave without telling anyone and end up getting caught by someone else like this? No one could have expected this. It seems like doing the unbelievable is your specialty. Van Helsing looks disgruntled as he says this. But brutality. But why? Why did you come to save me? If your business was finished. I'm no longer worth anything to you. You didn't have any reason to come save me. Don't stop to consider reasons. I just happened to be here and felt like saving you is all. No, Choco, it's cute. It's alright. That sounds like you. How did you find this place? After you disappeared, I activated the horologium detector that Nippy made. You've been held captive here for a few days, haven't you? That actually worked to my advantage. The poison building up in the air was the key to informing me of your location. I was the only one who decided to head here in case of an emergency. I see I wasn't mistaken. I see. Enough chit-chat, he'll be moving again. What? Van Helsing squints his eyes and stares into the darkness. Stop being soon. Oh no, I hit the button. I'm impressed that you were able to hold your own against him for this long. Only your training made that possible. Unbelievably, Jack slowly picks himself up from the floor. That was only rock salt, but you're a tough one, aren't you, Jack Blackman? You're already back on your feet. It's not like I was tracking you down or anything. I was just walking in town because of reasons. You know, I wasn't worried about you or anything.
Yes, well, I was once the government's secret weapon.
secret weapon?
Hidden strength. I didn't think that there were any survivors. I can't compare to you. I'm not considered a natural born weapon, but I do have my strengths. Allow me to say, it's an honor to meet you, Abraham Van Helsing.
Hidden what?
Hidden strength. It's the name for an experiment conducted in the Vampire War in order to compete with the vampires. A handful of soldiers were made into subjects of inhumane experiments in order to draw the humans' potential power. Inhumane? That's funny. They were creating soldiers for killing. It's only natural that they would divert for some reason. Drugs, torture, brainwashing. No stone was unturned in search of a way to unlock humanity's latent powers. Wonderful, no? It's disgusting. In truth, all turned out to be so broken that not even a single one of you was sent into battle during the Vampire War.
Broken?
Hidden strength was able to create people stronger than normal humans, and that they succeeded. However, the subjects were mentally fractured. Their ability to reason collapsed and they became cruel.
Yep, I imagined it's experiments. Yep. Well, I mean, heck, even the U.S. tries and denies it, but they had plenty of experiments that used drugs and such, so.
A soldier who will murder anyone on the battlefield, ally or enemy, could never be used in war.
I have like that many other theories, but
The government used Twilight to secretly have Hidden Strength program disposed of.
he's just Captain America, so this is just MCU.
All of it. But this man, Jack Blackman alone, was able to escape from Twilight's watchful eye. It's a well-known story in Twilight.
I see.
Jack was so strong that he didn't budge an inch when I fought him with all my might. It was all because of his artificial power.
So is Victor Bruce Banner. Okay, look. No, you're fine. His life is just another type of a created being. Thinking this causes my heart to ache just a little. We all know Victor is Doctor Strange.
You made it out alive? Why would you do this? On the battlefield or in the city of London, it's all the same. Killing is killing. And I would much rather kill for my own personal beliefs than from orders from my country. My goal is to purge the world. Beliefs? You mean desires. I'm not interested in the excuses you hide behind to justify murder. You don't even realize that it's you who's actually a stain on this world. Isn't that ironic, Jack the Ripper? You dare speak of the noble cause given to me by God that way.
Doctor Strange.
Do not defame my mission.
Jack roars and snaps his scissors in half, throwing one of the blades at Van Helsing. By the time Van Helsing raises his gun to deflect the thrown blade, Jack is already closing in on him. The other scissor blade in Jack's hand shines in the light from the lantern. Die, Van Helsing! The moment before the scissor half reaches him, Van Helsing reacts with a sharp kick into Jack's torso. There he goes! Jack's body flies through the air. Jack collapses on the ground and Van Helsing continues to shoot him again and again with his rock salt blast. And he's just thrown up on the floor. Nope, he's back up. And yet, Jack gets up again.
It hurts. You're hurting me.
This doesn't begin to scratch the surface of the pain you were about to put her through. And there he is! He reloads his gun and places the muzzle firmly against Jack's midsection.
Stop bullying me. You're the same.
Jack is acting strangely.
How many people did you kill? You've killed so many more than I ever did. It's not fair, not fair, not fair.
His voice has turned bizarre.
I know. Let's do this together. We can be friends. Let's kill a lot together. We'll purge the earth of all dirty women. I really, truly need killing.
Is Jack a snail? It still hurt that bad. Well, the thing is with being shot with like rock salt and stuff is it'd be like a pretty good punch. You could maybe break a bone. So honestly, think of it like getting hit by a really large stick. It's not gonna go through you, but you're not gonna get back up for a while. Jack's mind seems to be slipping into a childish state. Jack, why are you doing this?
Kill. I need to kill them. It's no use trying to talk to him. He isn't speaking with anyone to start with.
Nelson continues while he jams his gun into Jack's body.
And is trying to use his post-traumatic experience to awaken a person's latent potential powers. I'm scared. I don't like this. Forgive me. Their approach basically used fear and anger as the only methods to release these powers. Every sleeping and waking moment, these people's worst fears are drawn out forever. That mental state releases their powers.
True.
Jack Blackman was no exception.
It's kind of like when people use sandbag guns. Jack reminds me of Kafka.
Only he knows what kind of nightmare he's having.
That's horrible.
I need to kill. Need to kill. Need to. Need to.
Jack holds up the scissor blades again. But in that instant, Van Helsing's gun goes off once more.
Ouch, ouch, ouch!
Jack crouches on the floor once more. Van Helsing approaches him grimly and pulls the trigger.
Stop! You're hurting me, Mommy!
Van Helsing, that's enough!
Mommy, stop! Mommy, don't hit me! I'll be good! Don't hit me!
But only Kefka has no remorse and bad memories. Stop it, Van Helsing! I shout, desperate with everything that happened.
The gun ceases and there's silence. Are you going to show him mercy?
You can't kill him.
If I don't kill him here, he'll go out and kill even more women. Even you shouldn't understand why he needs to die. I know he needs to be stopped, but can't we hand him over to the police? Let's have the law punish him. You shouldn't have to kill any more people.
The gun pointed at the sobbing Jack lowers slightly. It's all over, just as I think this.
I need to kill. I have to. I must kill. Mothers are the worst. They need to die. I need to kill them, no matter how much they cry. I can't ever forgive them. Or else the hitting will never end.
Van Helsing narrows his eyes slightly.
I see. So you're purposely targeting women who are with children.
With practiced dexterity, he takes the shells from his shotgun.
Didn't you ever think about the families you left behind? Probably not.
Van Helsing, what are you? He begins to load his gun with different ammunition. Van Helsing uses different shells depending on the situation. Up until now, he's been using rock salt, which is generally non-lethal. If he's changing them, that must mean... Van Helsing?
Mommy, Mommy, Mommy!
Van Helsing takes aim at the cowering Jack.
Let your death pay for the deaths of your victims, Jack.
Van Helsing, stop! My scream overlaps with the sound of a gunshot.
Mommy, Mommy.
A hoarse voice can be heard sobbing. Van Helsing's gun is pointed at the ceiling and not Jack.
This is what you wanted, right?
Thank you, Van Helsing. I managed to utter this in the heavy air of this awful room. Soon, we hear music coming from somewhere. What? What is this?
It's that person. Help me. Please, save me. Please, I beg of you.
Jack springs up from the floor and dashes down the pathway. After him.
Can you keep up?
Yes. We follow him and arrive in a small, cramped room. The word Azoth has been written in red on the wall. The scratchy music continues to play, but we can't find where it's coming from.
I was scared. So scared. Jack has reached this room before us, and he's up against the wall in tears, clinging to the letters written in blood. Congratulations getting past the first obstacle, but the fun and games are only just beginning. Suddenly, a mechanical voice echoes through the room, and Van Helsing's gun is instantly out, searching for a target. Someone is watching us. Don't let your guard down. I look around cautiously. Who are you? It's easy to put an end to playtime. It's no use, Cardia. I think that is a recording. My name is Azoth. Let's just say I'll be your playmate. Let me explain the rules. Incidents like this will begin happening quite frequently in this city, and you will need to go after each and every one of them. As long as Azoth remains alive, there'll only be more victims. More incidents like this? How many? If you want to stop, you'll need to hand over. What was your name? Cardia. Saul. Oh my god. We have to play a death game. Cardia. This has to be Twilight. Then you must be. Or else London will soon be overflowing with evil. Chick says you want to play a game? You'll just need to continue being a puppet, like you were during the war. You don't want to lose someone precious again, do you? Finish your life. I'll be looking forward to our next encounter, Abraham. The voice falls silent. The only sound remaining is the low sobbing from Jack. It's the mysterious ticking noise! No, there's more. I hear something else. Something is like a ticking clock. Guardia! Before I can react, he grabs my hand and we flee the room. At that moment, Six, I put a key in your hand, Cardia. You're gonna get. You gotta use it to get out. The key is gone. What? My poison is in my blood, so the key is gone. Jigsaw has to come out and hand her a new key. We were assaulted by the roaring sound of an intense blast of heat. Hey, look, Choco, it's your boy. Are you hurt? I forgot. Is it square to get rid of the text box? Nope, that's skip. You protected me. Are you alright? How did I get rid of the text box before? I know there was a button before for it. I don't know. I'll remember later. I'm fine. Van Helsing stands up and I look at him. Only rubble and wreckage surrounds us. Any trace of this Azoth has been erased. That person, along with the killer Jack, have been forcibly thrown into the darkness of the abyss. Chapter 10, Vampire. Could you please wait here a little while longer, Mr. Van Helsing? You're not being accused of anything, but these are regulations. Oh shoot, why did you go so fast? Don't worry about it, but I'm sure you're only performing your duties in these circumstances. But I'd like you to let her rest. She has been held captive for the past several days. The officer nods in response, but I hold up my hand and shake my head. Thank you, but I'm fine. I think I can give helpful information to the yard, and I'm not seriously injured. If that's what you want, I'm not going to stop you. After the recent events, the underground explosion was detected out in the streets as well. Sorry. As we escaped from Jack's hideout using the sewage canal, the opening was surrounded by officers from Scotland Yard. Once we explained everything, the events leading up to it, and the cause of the explosion, it caused quite a stir. Although it's been a while since we left the sewer, Van Helsing and I have been unable to leave. Saint Germain, who had been looking for us, was drawn to the commotion and discovered us here by coincidence. My, things have certainly are festive around here. Man, that was a wacky Friday night, man. Man, you almost died. Wacky Fridays! Although our safety has been guaranteed by the Queen herself, we may be accused of something if we're seen together. I and the rest of our merry band shall retire to the mansion for now. You two can return once you're cleared of guilt. Jeez.
I didn't know you were so happy about my hiccup. St. Germain leaves as silently as he had appeared. Luckily for us, the suitcase I'd been carrying was picked up by the yard while they were searching the area for evidence.
Tell me if you really do need rest. He says this in a low voice, and I look up at him. You're much more tired than you know, both mentally and physically.
That's not true.
If you want to hide your exhaustion from me, you'll have to become a better liar. Your hands are shaking. I only noticed this when he points it out. Honestly, the fear and hate in the darkness, the sewer red with blood, Jack's pitiful cries. Everything I've experienced today is stuck in my head, and I start shaking every time my thoughts wander to the day's events. Don't dwell on it too much. There are many unfortunate and tragic things in this world. You just happen to find one. And Nelson doesn't even look at me as he says this. He's watching the officers restlessly moving about the area. Thank you, Van Helsing.
St. G is relaxed and said if you want bail money, haha, losers go to jail.
Don't worry about me rescuing you either. It was merely coincidence that I happened to be the first one to find you.
Yes, I know, but
what else is there? You didn't kill Jack. That made me happy. That I didn't punish a murderer? And I let him run away? You have pretty strange ideals.
No, it's not that. The thing is, Van, you don't help with your words.
Whenever you try and kill someone, you look like you're in pain. I see it in your face. It's the same with Finnis. I know you really did want to kill him, but I also felt that you were so sad that you had to do it.
Let me kill someone, Van Helsing.
Tell me, Van Helsing, what exactly happened between you and Finnis?
There's a long silence.
The night breeze blows by, and just as Van Helsing opens his mouth to speak...
Oh man, you ruined the moment. Sorry to keep you waiting! A voice booms out from the side. The person standing there is someone we've met several times before. You're... Yes, Rimpart Leonhart, leader of the Royal Guardsmen. Thank you for your contribution to the nation. Your courage is a pride of Britain. Your courage is the pride of Britain. His voice is so loud that it hurts my ears. I had to cover them. Besides, this man tried to kidnap me in the past. I reflexively take a step back. Oh, I won't do you any harm. As long as the Queen has ordered your protection, I will always be by your side. Ben, I don't like murder. I want to be a sheep farm like Cardi, and you don't understand I was taken away from my sleep farm dreams. On our side? Maybe for now. Doesn't feel quite right knowing that we fought in the past.
And why has an Imperial Guard like you been assigned to this case?
Yes, well, since the Yard has tried to conceal the situation from the general public, there have been many casualties. Her Majesty the Queen would like me to intervene in this investigation on her behalf in order to prevent further deaths.
Most likely so that the public won't catch on that
Blackman's true identity.
I'm aware that the Queen authorized the hidden strength experiments. It's the same for anyone in power. Cover up what smells bad.
Her Majesty protects this land with the resolve to do whatever it takes, even if it taints her hands. You wouldn't understand. Leonhart looks somewhat pained. He shakes his head when he notices me looking at him.
And that isn't the only reason.
What else is there?
Leonhart leans towards us, his intense expression making it clear that he is extremely cautious of those around us. This incident's roots run deeper than you might think. The Queen is actually more focused on Jack's accomplice, who broke him out of the heavy guard and helped him escape. Was this accomplice working alone? I've been told that there were several. They apparently used such extreme methods that even skilled watchmen couldn't react.
Ben is shorter than Leonhart. I like that. Yeah, Ben is actually one of the shorter of the characters. If I'm correct, Van Helsing is... Victor is the shortest, then it's Van,
Then I think it's Saint Germain. Then it's Lupin, and then I think Impy. If I'm correct on who is the tallest. Because Van is actually pretty short, according to the game, so. The Queen speculates that the organization with such powerful members will become a danger to the nation in due time. I see. So this is based on your leader's gut instincts. Van Helsing, do you think... As if he knows what I'm about to say, Van Helsing turns to face Leonhardt. Rempart. We have information regarding the suspects who were believed to have who have aided Jack in his escape. What? You do? Let Leonhardt be the tallest dude. I don't know how tall Leonhardt is. I could probably look it up later. I'm willing to give you that information, but there is one condition. From now on, you will tell me anything and everything you find out about those pulling the strings from behind what happened here. What are you going to do with that information? I'm just curious by nature. Leonhardt looks up at Van Helsing with searching eyes for a moment, but Van Helsing only stares back coolly. Van Helsing, I know of your achievements. If you say you're going to assist in this investigation, I promise to share. Fine, it's a deal. I will tell you what we saw. I nod and I tell him about the things we saw and experienced in the sewage canal. Jack had been told to look for a certain individual with an unknown person. That person left a message for him on the sewer canals, Azoth. I have no idea what it means, but it was the name of a person controlling Jack that was calling themselves. As long as Azoth lives, the incidents like this will continue, and so will that, or so that person claimed. Azoth also declared that if we don't find the individual we're looking for, the body count will only rise, and London will overflow with evil. Azoth, what does that mean, London will overflow with evil? And who is Azoth searching for? If we were able to contact this individual, we may have advanced in our investigation. I don't think that'll happen. I don't know anything. Why do you think that? You must be... Oh no, I responded without thinking. Idiot, you should have kept quiet. You're part of the wretched new generation of London that gives up without trying. Never give in. Challenge yourself. Right. Good thing he's a simple type. I nod in agreement. So, Azoth, eh? I don't know what it means, but it may be related to the number of past incidents the past few days. What incidents? What happened? Wait a second, but is the voice was Finis? Why did he... But if the voice was Finis, why did he sound like he didn't know Cardia? They don't know, they're judging, they think it's maybe Finis. Jack escaped the spot and stole the spotlight, but the violent crimes have actually been on the rise over the past several days. I suppose he's making good on his promise. It's likely the number will only increase moving forward. Leonhardt nods, his face serious. It is the duty of we British knights to prevent that from happening. I shall do my utmost to carry out this mission. That's great, but isn't it your job as an Imperial Guard to ensure the protection of the royal family? Running around London isn't going to hamper your actual duties, is it? Not to worry. It is the Queen's command that providing safety for the people leads to the safety of the royal personage. And so, what is it that I, who have sworn my sword to the Queen, must do? I must simply make Her Majesty's will a reality! He's so loud, but he's also so unbelievably passionate. How can you only think it's finished? They remember his voice. Can't you have a conversation without shouting? Excuse me, I get heated when it comes to Her Majesty. Yeah, I didn't guess. We'll pursue Azoth on our own, using our own methods. Let's meet regularly to exchange what intelligence we've gathered. Leonhardt nods vigorously and holds out his hand. A great deal has happened between us, but let us fight side by side to ensure the protection of Britain and justice. Van Helsing doesn't take Leonhardt's hand. Instead, he looks down on it and then back up at Leonhardt. There's no justice in this world worth fighting for. I fight for myself and only myself. That's it. Leonhardt's brow furrows and he's about to say something. Sir Leonhardt, a body's been discovered beneath the debris. What? I'll be right there. You two. I'll be waiting to hear from you.
Leonhardt raises his voice and noisily takes off.
Simple. But he may still be of use to us.
Um, Van Helsing?
What?
Do you think we can leave now?
How should I know?
After that, by the time we finished speaking with Leonhardt regarding on how to get in contact with each other, it was already midnight. It's pitch black.
Yep. Van Helsing, thank you so much for today. I told you there's no need for gratitude. How many times must you thank me?
You saved my life. I'll never be able to thank you enough. But, Van Helsing, I really can't go back to the others.
Why do you think that?
If I'm there, I'll cause trouble for everyone else. I can't put them through that.
That's your reason?
He sighs, mildly annoyed, and then stops, and he looks silently up at the sky.
The others will decide for themselves whether you're too much trouble or not, but I need you to stay close to me.
Man, I can't believe Van and Leonhardt have a D&D group. What?
I need you.
There you go, Choco. My heart hurts. Just that one phrase. When Van Helsing said that he needs me, my whole chest felt tight. Why?
The reason is simple.
He turns and looks me straight in the eye. But for some reason, his gaze is colored with rejection. Much like when we had first met.
Finis lives.
He is still alive, and he's after you.
It might even be possible to learn his secrets through you.
A different pain rises in my chest. I wonder why.
Next time, I will finally be the one to put an end to him.
Alright. I genuinely feel sad for some reason.
That's why I need you.
Why do you have so much hate for Finis? Why must you kill him?
That's none of your concern.
He's not letting me in. Oh, okay, it's just fake. Yeah. For some reason, I was expecting romance. Nope! They don't really have romance come out of nowhere. For some reason, this makes me angry, but at the same time, I feel he's right, and I hate myself for feeling this way. It is my concern! The words bust out of me.
Finis is an important connection to me and Father, and besides, Van Helsing, you are my precious friend, aren't you?
He quietly exhales and then glares back at me. Oh, this is where we get a pretty CG.
At what point did we become friends?
What? His tone is annoyed as usual. But this time, it's not the familiar annoyance between friends. This has a distinct ring of rejection.
I'm merely using you to accomplish my own objectives. Isn't that the same for you, Cardia? The only reason we're together in the first place is to further our own interests. Nothing will ever change that fact. Nothing.
But that's sad. I consider you a friend. But I think of you as a friend, and you're very important to me. I never thought that I just wanted to use you.
What does that matter? I've always been using you, and I intend to continue using you. Don't make the mistake of considering me your friend.
Even if you're only using me, I'd still like you to be my friend. Is there a reason why I shouldn't? He's acting tough to hide his feelings like a true student. His face is I can't tell if we're being friends. I'm laughing too much, help. I can't tell if we're friends or not just because we're using each other. We aren't friends. Christ, she called me a friend. Even if we are using each other, as long as we are considerate of one another's feelings, that makes us friends. So, no matter what you think, I consider you a friend of mine.
I don't need friends.
No matter how you feel about me, you're my friend. You're special to me. No saying we're not friends. I will punch you. For a moment, we look at one another directly in the eyes without looking away. The clouds drift along behind us. Then,
If that's what you want to tell yourself, go right ahead.
But it seemed like Van Helsing's eyes had wavered slightly as he said this. Just for an instant. Only an instant, but I feel that I was able to touch his emotions that he usually keeps hidden from the rest of the world. Van Helsing, what will you... Why do you have to kill Finnis? Where did that anger come from? Van Helsing turns his back to me and begins walking away without saying anything. Stop acting like Vincent Van. Tell me, if you're gonna use me and you need me to stay close, I want to know as much as I can about you. Tell me, you asshole. Revenge. His response is short and firm. I cannot forgive that man. I sense a deep anger in his words, but before I can ask any more, Van Helsing stalks off alone, almost disappearing into the darkness. Get back here, you asshole! I make my way back to St. Germain's mansion on my own. I notice a small figure standing before the doors. You're finally back. It's so late. Cardia, oh my god, she's punching his sentence. Cardia, what are you? Man, an idiot sandwich. No, you're my freaking friend. Delia looks up at me. Were you waiting for me? Why do you say that? It wasn't my idea. I'm just watching Cece. He's the one waiting for you. As if on cue, Cece pokes his head out from between Delia's legs. Cece. Cece happily runs circles around me and Deli. When I saw your suitcase was gone, I thought you weren't coming back. Yes, I thought that too. Isn't Van Helsing with you? Lupin said he was gonna be bringing you back. Van Helsing had somewhere to go. Another soon. Stop. I suddenly remember that Deli despises Van Helsing. I don't know what exactly happened between the two of them, but Deli said that Van Helsing is the one who took his family away from him. You seem to like that man a great deal. I don't know if it's really the right way to put it. Hey, Deli, what you said about him, is it true? What do you mean? That he, um, your mother and father, Cardi is stuck with two dumbos, a soon and an angry soon. We got a soon and we got a fun-sized soon. Yes, he unquestionably killed them. I see. Although, my mother, I only found her lifeless body later, and did not actually witness her murder. But from all appearances, it must have been he who dealt the blow. This is why I'm going to give you a warning. You shouldn't get too deeply involved with that man. What? Haven't you forgotten? Once his goal has been accomplished, it is his fate to die by my hand. If you were the one who told me that you were the one who told me that I don't have to be alone. When I kill him, and I will, I don't want to see you lamenting his death. Whatever's between the two of them is something I shouldn't interfere with. Being an outsider, I can't even begin to comprehend the pain or suffering they must have inflicted on one another. Why don't you hurry up and get inside? Everybody's waiting for you to return. Yes, thank you for waiting for me. Here for me, Deli. Thanks, Cece. Thank you too, Cece. I smile out Cece's response and then enter the mansion. Guardia, you're safe. I'm so glad. Yes, I'm sorry to worry you. We were really, really turbo super extra worried. Deli, I'm gonna heckin' punch him in the gut like those animes. He would. I'm sorry, I'm fine, so please don't cry. All that matters is that you're right. I'll be like Saitama. Deli, no, don't get bald. I had faith you were safe. Welcome home. Thank you for having faith. I don't know what you were thinking, leaving without a word. Don't be such a stranger. Deli, one punch and he's dead. I just didn't want to cause trouble. Trouble? What are you talking about? The real trouble would have been if you wandered out around all by yourself. I'm sorry.
We were all worried to death about you. I see. We're tougher than you think. No matter who you are, or what events we'll get drawn into, we can take care of each other. We need you, and you need us. Isn't that right? Yes. Have you considered what you've done to make us feel? Yes. That's fine then. I don't know about your past. I don't know what you want to do or how things will be in the future, but one thing's for certain. Uh, this place, this and nowhere else, is where you belong. You don't need to hold anything back. They're all so warm and comforting. Oh, hey, what's wrong? Why are you crying? Are you hurt? Did you get wounded? Are you sick? Do you need me to look? Thank you, I'm fine. To begin, let me prepare some tea. We need to take a break. We all need to calm down. Saint Germain's comment lightens the mood. Everyone is smiling, and I do feel that I've come home. At the same time, I feel helpless and anxious because Van Helsing isn't here with us. Where is he? Where'd you go? After that, I tell everyone that happened. They're all surprised, but nobody interrupts. They listen intently until I finish speaking. And that's everything I saw. Ugh, that's some experience you went through right after you left. Impy is the first to say something after I'm done telling my story. Listen, Cardia, listen, I'm gonna say this like, oh my god, Van is freaking sad and like a freaking loser. Go on a date with Victor. He's not sad. Victor thinking about the trauma. Yeah, I'm not sad. Totally. He's fine. He doesn't have any tragic backstory as well. I'm curious about the person who was controlling Jack. They claim to be after you, Miss Cardia. Yes, it seems that way. Azoth. That was what the voice was telling Jack what to do was calling itself. Yes, do you know what it means? Yes, the word comes. It's a word that all alchemists know. Azoth is another name for Mercury. I know that meaning too, but what makes you think that this Azoth person named himself after Mercury? In the ac- alchemical world, there we go. The word has a somewhat different connotation. What does it mean then? Azoth is another name used for the Philosopher's Stone. It's been thought that the name implies both beginnings and ends, which could mean the person controlling Jack seems to be bringing an end to something while starting something else. I see. So it takes the first letter in Latin, Greek, and Hebrew, and then final letters of those alphabets. Azoth could indeed mean beginning and ending. It is the word with divine nature and symbolizes perfect unification. Uh, so he's calling himself God or something. That's rather pretentious of him. Anyway, there's no questioning that it's you he's after, is there? It seems Van Helsing thinks that Azoth is actually Finis. Finis? It's impossible! Isn't he, you know... Yes, I wouldn't think that such a thing would be possible, but... The conversation dies for a moment. Finis definitely died. Everyone probably thinking the same thing. Van Helsing... Wonder why he has so much hatred for Finis. We all look at one another. Van Helsing was a member of Twilight. That means Finis was in a position to give him orders. Maybe the Vampire War came to an end. Or when the Vampire War came to an end. Maybe it has something to do with why Van Helsing quit Twilight. Everyone looks serious and falls silent. It can't be helped, we don't know anything for certain. Either way, there's only one thing we can do now, and we need to hurry up and capture this Azoth fool. I find it hard to believe that he's Finis himself. It's possible it's someone else who has a connection to Finis. And I nod gravely. By the way, where is Van Helsing, that idiot? I had thought that he would be returning with you for sure. I don't know, he just said to go ahead without him. Hardy, it's because Finis made him take him to Disney World and spend all of Van's money. Truly the most worst of crimes. I see.
wants a little piece of garbage to pay back for. I don't blame him. Disney World tickets are super expensive. I haven't even gone there since I was like 3, but I hear it all the time of people complaining about Disney's prices at work, so. Shall we go on and start dinner then? You must have been through a lot, so you must eat, sleep, and give your body a rest.
Yes, I'll do that. Thank you.
Things are peaceful for a while after that. However, I don't see Van Helsing again that whole day. That's the only thing that concerns me. Where is that idiot? That night at midnight. In the forest near Linton. Damn it! Hill! Why is it after me? Monster! Footsteps draw near. The man's family and servants have all been murdered. There was nothing he could do. There were only props. They were only props for the sake of appearance. They could replace them at any time, but he cannot replace his own life. He's run quite far ahead. He can see the faint lights of the city through the trees. Almost there. Do we actually find out about St. Germain's role even if you don't go through his route? You get hints, but you don't get the full thing unless you do his route. I think the only one you really get a big part of it is on Lupin's if you don't do his route. But other than that, Victor, Van, and Impy, they kind of just scoop past it. If only he reaches the gate. If he can only reach the gates. He suddenly hears footsteps behind him. I'm gonna die. He feels this instinctively and quickly spins around, drawing his pistol. Damn you! He fires without hesitation, but the figure he had since behind him is nowhere to be seen. How could this be? The thing chasing him is still out there, lurking in the darkness, waiting for its chance to strike. Where are you? Come out, monster! He wants to run as fast as he can, but he feels with great certainty that the moment he turns his back, death will leap upon him. What do you want? Revenge? It means nothing, you lost. Good, because I do prefer him being the old-fashioned kind of count the most. Yep! Your whole lot is doomed to extinction. Ah! I don't know why, but this one makes me laugh. I just noticed this punch noise is the same one used in RPG Maker. Oh my god. His screams finally stop. The only sound that is the insects in the night. The next morning I wake in my bed. Last night I fell asleep the moment I laid down. I didn't realize it, but I must have been completely worn out, both physically and mentally. Compared to last night, my body and my mind feel much lighter. Oh. You can tell the VA for the dude had fun. It sounds like all kinds. I never even noticed that. I look at the clock and see that it's already time for breakfast. They've worried so much about me that I should have at least helped. I think of this as soon as I rush to the dining room. Everyone is already gathered there. You're late. Yes, I see you, Pepper. I'm trying to play a game. You're very cute. Can I play my game? No, you want pets? You're a good girl. You just get some rest. Van Helsing is here and I sigh with relief. However, nobody is eating. There's tea and some simple snacks on the table, and in the center of the— Yes, Pepper! And in the center of the— is a page from a newspaper. I guess I'm the only moron with no working headphones, but I can hear Z's voice with no game sounds. It could be your headphones acting up. I'm pretty sure I had turned up game audio, but if I need to turn it up some more, I can. I have them raised super loud since one channel is broken kaput. I can turn it up. Here, hold on. gonna use background music just like that. I am giving love to Pepper. Okay, I'm just turning it up slightly.
Good morning, it's past breakfast time, but did something happen? Van Helsing taps his finger on the article in the newspaper. Azoth acted again. Seems like he's capable of moving quite quickly. What? I read the article Van Helsing pointed out to me. Mass murder. The word Azoth is written in blood.
I'm fine with like this. Okay.
I furrow my brow and continue reading. Yes, hi Pepper. Look, if you want, you can slide over here if you want to be pet, but I'm gonna also play the game, okay? See? I furrow my brow and continue reading. Last night in the forest near London, Viscount Brandel's mansion was attacked. The man's family and servants were killed, and the yards announced that the wounds are consistent with an animal like a bear. However, Viscount Brandel himself was found dead in the forest a small distance from his mansion. The word Azoth was written in the tree he was leaning against, apparently what seems to be with the Viscount's blood. Scotland Yard is under recent scrutiny after the attempted cover-up of Jack the Ripper's case. Escape. Still works. The picture accompanies the article. It's a grainy photograph showing the letters written in the tree in blood. Bless you. This is the one who controlled Jack. Most likely. Van Helsing, do you think it's also the work of Finis? I think it's quite a high possibility. It seems that he knows about my past. That's all it takes for me to find him suspicious. Okay, you can go out of the room. Here, let me get the door for you. There you go. I'm going to go out to that location. What about the rest of you? I've already raised them. It's okay. I'll go, of course. As long as they're after her, we can't just stand aside and do nothing. Same here. Me too. I can't allow things like this to go on without doing anything. If all of you are going, I shall accompany you. Thank you, everyone. I shall go this time as well. His voice comes out of nowhere. Jelly, who so far has been avoiding the rest of us, is watching us intently. I'll involve myself in this incident. That's fine, but is something bothering you? Does anything about this stand out to you? I'm not going to say anything until I have proof. However, I can't overlook this. Do you take issues with this, Van Helsing? You don't need my permission. Van Helsing says this curtly and then leaves the dining area. What a sunderer. Ah, he left without eating anything. It's not my fault if he passes out from hunger. It would seem that Van Helsing is having a difficult time remaining calm. Yes, and I won't let him go alone. Let's all go together. The others all agree. Fine, I'll make him a sandwich or something. It's hard to say whether he'll have an appetite after seeing a murder scene. The crime scene isn't far, and we arrive at the Viscount Brandel's mansion after an hour's walk. I didn't think such a violent crime would take place this close to our own mansion. Stop being edgy! God. We're almost there. Viscount Brandel's estate is just beyond these trees. Just as he says this, we see what appears to be the roof of a large building just past the trees before us. Sorry, folks. No trespassing beyond this point. Which paper do you write for? We've been ordered to not release any more information to the press. Two officers step in front of us. My name is Abraham Van Helsing. Captain Leonhardt requested that I aid in the investigation. Van Helsing? The human weapon? Van Helsing? Stop. Be sad, cry, suffer, no more inch juice. Idiot. That lady journalist this morning claimed to be Queen Victoria. And you're gonna let her, and you let her waltz right through. You're way too gullible, you know. Oh, right. I'm sorry, but Captain Leonhardt ordered that no one be allowed through. Uh-oh. Do you really not get it? Come on, Vilsness. It's no use saying anything to these uptight buffoons. That's disrespecting a police officer! As Impy and the policeman begin to argue, I see a familiar figure running towards us. Hey now, what's this commotion? Leonhardt, good thing you're here. I'd like you to take me to the site. Oh, it's you, Van Helsing. Thank you for coming. He's for real? Seriously? Oh, dear. Please, sir, I'd love to get your autograph later. Paying no mind to the excited policeman, Van Helsing and Leonhardt greet each other briskly. Leonhardt seems to be somewhat cheerful. Van Helsing's skills must be quite regarded highly. The situation's progressed so quickly. I didn't expect this to happen. G'day, Captain. You're just as hot-headed as ever. What? Lupin, you... Leonhardt's expression immediately changes at the sight of Lupin, who'd been hiding behind the rest of us. You're under arrest for treason, obstruction of justice, and defamation of Her Majesty and myself. Leonhardt quickly grabs Lupin and handcuffs his hands behind his back. Leonhardt, have you forgotten we're under the protection of the Queen herself? The handcuffs fall to the ground in an instant. What? How did you do that just now? Answer me! With regards to Azoth, we will be cooperating with one another to investigate these crimes. Is that alright, Leonhardt? Leonhardt picks the handcuffs and inspects them furiously and nods somewhat reluctantly. I didn't think Lupin would be tagging along. Fine, let me show you the mansion first. With Leonhardt's grudging agreement, Lupin and the others begin to follow. Dilly and I try to join the group. You stay here. What? Why? The paper said it looked like the people had been attacked by a beast. This will be a disturbing scene. It's better if you stayed here to avoid you getting sick and getting in everyone's way. It won't be long. Just sit tight. Okay. I don't see why you're concerned about me. 2 years ago, I buried most of my kin. One blood-soaked house isn't gonna faze me. Deli. And there's no reason to stop you. Come with us. Van Helsing and the others walk off, and I stand for a while waiting for them. It's been some time, and they haven't yet come out. There's probably a lot to investigate. Oh gosh, Leo. I look around the area for a bit. Then I find something red on the ground near some bushes. Is this blood? I look closer. There are a lot of tracks here, as if multiple people had been walking back and forth right here. I remember something Lupin told me. Footprints can leave a lot of clues behind. That's why a good thief takes care to never ever leave footprints behind. They're different sizes, but they're all the same shape, probably police officers. That means there's something over here that had gotten their attention. I saw a body of horror clones of me. I can take it. I better go take a look. Yeah, I mean, she did kind of see that. You would think that. I mean, I can understand on one half they're like, oh shoot, there's a lot of murder here. She probably shouldn't see this. And on the other hand, it's like, she's already kind of seen it. I mean, she's melted people, so. I follow the footprints and bloodstains to the edge of the forest. Then I push it through a thicket and see it, the red smeared all over a tree trunk. The word Azoth written in most likely the victim's blood. The paper had said that the Viscount Brandel was killed alone, as he was trying to escape. He probably died right here. I feel like I'm being watched and I look up. There's no one there. I suddenly feel nervous. Even the sound of the treetops swaying in the breeze feels eerie. I should go back at once and... Huh? What are you doing here? I turn around with surprise and discover Impy standing here. Lupin and the others appear as well, with Leonhardt standing in the very back. Sorry for walking around on my own. I found this place while I was waiting and... It's fine. The yard's all over this area right now. There shouldn't be any danger. Yeah, of course. Van Helsing steps away from the rest and stares at the word Azoth. What is it, Van Helsing? These letters written in blood. The handwriting is different from last time. This is just an assumption, but the Azoth ringleader is likely making those doing his bidding write these words. Perhaps as proof of their loyalty, or in return for his support. I must say, that is in poor taste, and they drive their employees quite hard. That's probably the message from Azoth to hand me over. Try not to overthink things. You can tell. Well, Cardia lately has been more aware of events, and recent one with Jack led to her being very shaken, so they were acting out of concern. Yeah, that's true. Yes, your thoughts are simpler than you might imagine. Then, we'll continue our investigation on site. What will you lot do? Well, there might be something left here that will provide some proof. I'll help. Lupin, Impy, and Saint Germain all agree with Victor's intentions. I probably won't be of much use here. What should I do? Come with me then. If you want to keep those who are here from worrying about you, you'll be less likely to have trouble with me. Aren't you going to investigate the crime scene here? There's someone I want to call upon. I'm gonna go see him. There seems to be somewhat like me where she seems to be somewhat like me where she acts later in regards to events. I get her. Yeah. What's it supposed to mean? Should I come along? You can come if you want, but the place I'm going to is home to Herlock Sholmes. After that, Van Helsing, Deli, and I head for Baker Street where Sholmes lives. Sorry, he's back for a little bit. Needless to say, Lupin didn't want to come with us after all. This is the middle-class district where rows of houses line the street. According to Leonhardt, the place where Sholmes kept his office and lodging is on this street. Cardi, you said we weren't pals and then you want to hang me with you. Make up your mind. Tilly, are you sure you don't want to stay behind at the crime scene? Why would I want to do that? You seemed very interested in the news this morning. Don't concern yourself with about it. I understood enough. There was no point in staying there any longer. Tilly sounds a lot more confident than usual. Could this be because Van Helsing's Van, no. Ah, no, please, no, why? Why? Never mind that. Van Helsing, I certainly hope you noticed. Uh... I'm not blind, of course I noticed. What are you two talking about? Instead of responding, Van Helsing and Deli suddenly turned down the alley. What's the matter? Why are we running? I ask as they grab my hands. Turn that corner. Delacroix, do you know what to do? Don't try and give me orders. Still holding my hands, we turn down an even narrow alleyway and hide in the shadows. I finally understand what they're doing, and I make sure to stay well hidden. Immediately after that, the tracker who'd lost sight of us in the alley appears in the alley's mouth and then runs towards us in a panic. Van Helsing and Deli look at each other and nod, and they jump out of hiding at the same moment. Don't move, or I'll have to react if you do. Trying to follow me, were you? Very presumptuous for a mere human. Well, well, you got me. I surrender. Van Helsing and I both sigh in relief as the man raises his hands. You're from Twilight! The man standing before us is the same one who captured me during the attempt to kidnap Finis on the train. I take a step back and prepare myself to react appropriately in case something happens. Van Helsing doesn't seem to be bothered at all, however. Why not? Delacroix, this man is not an enemy. He's an ally. Van Helsing lowers his gun. What are you talking about? Twilight wants to capture her, don't they? Aren't they your enemies? This man is an exception. Though Deli gives Van Helsing a quizzical look, he slowly relaxes. That was quite a sloppy attempt to trail us coming from you. My apologies. I wanted to test if you were still as sharp as before, Abraham. You completely underestimate me then. Van Helsing? Who is this? I suppose I never properly introduced myself. My name is Jimmy A. Allister. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Cardia. I just realized we have the family reunited, though. I hold a decently high position within the Twilight organization. Then you're our enemy after all! Ah, please excuse my actions during our previous encounter. I had to act that way in front of Finis. Don't worry. This man is my ally. We were both betrayed by Finis, and we both share the same objective. The only difference is that I'm after Finis himself, while Alistair is after the entire organization. He leaked information regarding the orders given to Twilight, and Cardia, he's the one who gave me the information about you. After that, I was unable to contact him, and I faced some difficulties. I'm sorry about that, but if you can forgive me, it was very difficult to communicate with you without him knowing. But when we were on that train, Venus was about to capture me. Van Helsing could have been killed. There's no way that you were secretly on our side back then, Alistair. That incident in the train car. I was I was going to help you escape later. Same with Abraham. I'd never kill him. I can't trust you! If Lupin hadn't saved us, both Van Helsing and I would both be dead. I feel an intense, indescribable pressure, and I stare directly at Alistair's face. However, Alistair does not appear to be too troubled and only strokes his beard while he responds softly. The more I say it's true, the less you'll believe me. Then again, it's no other way to show that I'm trustworthy. I still don't trust him, but Van Helsing is the first to look back at him. There's no need to doubt you. You were trying to shift things our way as much as you could in that tight corner. I know what you're capable of better than anyone else. Don't think that you're giving me too much credit. I wouldn't expect so much from this old fool. It's apparent that the two trust each other. Van Helsing has much faith in him. Or does that make him an ally? Are you saying that you saved my life? It's not that big of a deal. Don't worry about it. I couldn't help myself from wanting to keep you safe, as you're a friend of my former student. Your student? Alistair is a university professor and has been guiding me in my studies. Alistair smiles and nods. Professor is just a title. I'd like you to visit sometime if you're free. Friends of Abraham are always welcome. Curry, I don't like this. How can you be your friend? I want to be your friend. I hate him because you're pals. So, Alistair, was it? What business do you have with Van Helsing? I'm sure you didn't follow us here to make small talk. Delly, who'd been watching from the side, speaks to Alistair with an almost hostile intensity. He seems to still be on the fence regarding Alistair. Don't glare at me like that. Of course I didn't come just to chit-chat. He takes a small breath and then begins to speak quietly. Now that Finis is dead, or at least publicly, I'm now able to move around freely. Publicly. What do you mean? Was the Finis that showed up in Beckford's lab a fake after all? That's what I want to know as well. Is Azoth actually Finis? If that's true, then who is the person who died in Father's underground facility? This is just the theory, but the Finis you encountered was likely a body double or something. What? Then he's still... Yes, though it's very hard to believe, there's a very good chance that Finis is still alive. I haven't seen him with my own eyes, though, and he and I haven't exchanged any words. The day after he was supposedly killed, I saw him walking around the palace. I hadn't felt chills like that in a while. How could it be? There's no question. It was Finis. Damn it. Are you telling me the boy really is immortal? That's preposterous. Calm down, Abraham. Either way, unlike before, Finis is unable to make appearances in public. However, I have yet to grasp what exactly he's up to in the meantime. I have my own theories. He is a ghost of sorts now, wandering in search of his other half. What? What do you mean? Van Helsing spent some time telling Alistair everything that happened. Jack the Ripper, the word Azoth written in blood, the recent mass murder. I see. If Finis is behind this, it seems that he has really lost his mind. As far as I know, he's always been crazy. Van Helsing grinds his teeth, fuming. But as a result of Finis's disappearance, I was able to take back some measure of leadership over Twilight. Moving forward, you can consider Twilight an ally, Abraham. Above all else, you seek revenge and to see that justice is done. Not just me, us. That's right. Finis has been driven into a corner like never before. It's only a little farther until it's all over. Yes. I sense a special connection between them, one that I shouldn't interfere with as I watch them shake hands. For some reason, I find this upsetting. Now then, there's no reason for getting caught up in this conversation here. Your little girlfriend is glaring daggers at me. I'm not glaring. I'm just kidding, my lady. Good luck, Abraham. I'll let you know as soon as there's any progress. Alistair turns, disappearing into the crowd on the main street as if melting into the scenery. What's with you? Huh? You look happy for some reason. Something on your mind? I'm kinda conflicted, but still a little happy. What does that mean? Because I know you have a friend. Van Helsing said that I was not his friend, but he referred to Alistair as an ally and seemed peaceful when he was here. Is that all? That upsetting feeling I had earlier. It was probably because I wanted Van Helsing to see me as a friend and comrade, just like that. Be my friend, asshole! For a while after that, we continued down Baker Street, and here we go. This is it. We arrive in front of the building, a row of apartments. Doesn't look like a detective's office. It doesn't, does it? If Leonhardt wasn't mistaken, he should be here. Perhaps I should have asked this sooner, but is this Sholmes really going to be of any use to us? I think it would be very reassuring to have him on our side. Even Lupin runs away at the sound of his name. That can't be helped. A thief's instincts are always to run away from the law. Door suddenly opens, revealing this boy. I thought you would arrive around now. Come in. Van Helsing, did you tell him that we would be coming here? No, I did not. Why? Though he probably predicted that we would arrive through some logical reason. Why? I'm sorry. We followed Shims to the apartment and are shown to an ordinary parlor. There's nothing here, and I would have expected a detective's office to have. This room isn't actually my office, but it's a bit of a mess. With barely any room to walk. I apologize, but let's talk here. Ew, gross. Get that fly out of here. What is it you want? I'd have already assumed that you already figured out why we're here. Oh, you overestimate me. Well, let me make an educated guess. Sholmes chuckles and gestures to us while he thinks aloud. You are here today seeking some sort of information regarding the Azoth incident from last night. How's that? You're right, how did you know? I'm not reading that, you fake. I've welcomed any client into my business for the past few years. Right now, I have a limited number that are for my own reasons. It's been the same once I moved to London, only a select few in Scotland Yard know of me here, and maybe Captain Leonhardt. If you made it this far, I'm assuming that you have Scotland Yard's blessing, or that you've had contact with Leonhardt. Sholmes continues talking as he glances through the papers spread out before him on his desk. They're all busy right now, chasing after this Azoth fellow, the one behind Jack the Ripper, as well as the Brandel murders. Van Helsing and Cardia, I hear that you were involved in the recent death of Jack the Ripper. Sholmes easily surmised how we're all related to the incident with Jack as well. She's... I'm sorry for any... The common thread shared by these points is Azoth, that name. Then the reason you're here must be that you seek that much information as possible and want the professional detective's help. We don't want that. That's an only natural conclusion. What do you think? Some shrugs. It's like he sees through everything we do. To him we're open books. His gaze looks so ominous that it feels a bit uncomfortable. Telly seems particularly bothered by Shum's a true boy, and naturally puts some distance between them. It certainly appears that you're worth requesting cooperation from. Oh, do I meet your demanding standards? Let's talk business then. I'll keep my work and my private life separate. My skills don't come cheap. It doesn't matter. Lupin will take full responsibility for the payment. What? Is he sure he wants to make promises before he checks to make sure if it's acceptable? You're hiring a detective with a thief's money. I enjoy the irony. You're requesting that I solve the mystery of the Azoth incidents and find out about the truth, is that correct? You bootleg aren't special, this is obvious even to me.
After that, Sholmes quietly listens to our story without showing any signs of surprise or shock.
I see. So, everything is mostly as I had already expected. Take a look at this.
He spreads a map on the city on the desk. There are dates and information
With the number points on it. Within the past few months, the number of violent crimes in London have increased at a rapid pace. I was personally interested in that, and I've been following them for a while, and discovered a strange commonality.
A commonality?
What is it? This.
Sholmes takes a separate set of papers from the drawer inside of his desk. It's a list of names and armed forces ranks. Several of the names on the top are crossed out. Viscount Brindle's names are one of the ones with a line through it.
This is the list of those who received commendations after the Vampire War. Exactly. I have a client in the government from whom I solved an interesting case. He provided me with this list.
He gently traces his finger over the names with a line through them.
As I'm sure you understand by now, the killer's been murdering his targets in order according to this list. From the perspective of a vampire, such individuals deserve death.
Deli quietly says this as he leans against the wall.
Van Helsing, your name is on here too.
I like to imagine Deli is drinking juice box or something while kicking his feet because the adult talk is boring. Yep.
Indeed, after the current top person on the list is killed, you'll become the next target. You came to me at a good time. The problem is, how did the killer get his hands on this top secret list? The killer is within the government, or Azoth has some connections to it. It's one of those two scenarios. Then I'm going to assume that Azoth is within the government. Azoth has been having an accomplice into a number of crimes. After Jack's story, I'm inclined to think that he has a certain sort of charisma. This charisma draws criminals to him, and he has the intelligence to control them. One could even call him the Napoleon of crime. What does that mean? Either way, I'm unfortunately still in the middle of my own investigations. I'll have yet to learn about the truth about Azoth. Azoth is finished.
Finish. Yes, that word. Van Helsing states this quietly but firmly, leaving no room for doubt. Sholmes seems mildly surprised.
Finis? Are you referring to the technology advisor in the British military, Finis?
You believe that he is Azoth?
Yes. On what do you base this theory? During the events with Jack, Azoth left a message containing information that only Finis would know. Information only Finis would know. It was most likely... You'll need to just continue being a puppet, like you were during the war. You don't want to lose someone precious again, do you?
Those words spoken by Azoth. Puppet. Lose someone precious? Wonder what it all means.
I don't intend to tell you exactly what he was referring to. I see. That's fine. I'll keep your story in mind. I just have one word of advice for you.
Sholmes pulls himself upright and looks towards us.
The one currently calling himself Azoth seems to have a tendency of working 2 nights in a row. Which means tonight, the survivor on the top of this list is going to be his target.
This is useful information. Good thing we've hired you.
You're welcome, but be careful. This opponent will not be easy to take down. Viscount Brandel was killed by a vampire. I have no doubts whatsoever by that.
I'm the only one who reacts in surprise. Van Helsing and Deli both seem unfazed by Sholmes' words.
I would assume so. One of our hated enemies is dead, and the terrible state of that mansion. I could never forget that brutality. It was a style someone I knew very well knows best. The killer was most likely a pure-blooded vampire like myself.
We return to the Brandel estate and rejoin Lupin and the others. We relay Sholmes' information to Leonhard as well. By the time we return to St. Germain's mansion, the sun has already set. We gather in the lounge and discuss how to proceed from this point. Although Deli is with us, he doesn't say anything, choosing to simply listen to us talk. Several guard officials have already been stationed at the home where the next
attack is predicted to occur. Van Helsing's voice carries quite well in the quiet room. I'm going to join them and intend to capture the vampire who's been committing these crimes. But this isn't my fight. There's no need for any of you to force yourselves to join me. I will handle it on my own. His expression is tight and stern. If I let him go through with this, he's going to go somewhere far away and I'll be unable to reach him. No! I'm just going to turn my fan because it's a bit warm. I'm coming too. Azoth is after me and I'm part of this as well. I won't get in your way, so please let me come with you. Stare at Van Helsing. My words come from my heart. As if synchronizing with my attitude, Lupin speaks up from the side. I'll obviously come along too. Either way, the only remaining clue to Isaac's whereabouts is this Azoth fellow. Exactly. If we let him pass us by, we'll be completely stuck. Man, hell yeah, Dilly wants to kill me and another person. Let's see who can kill me first. I'll try to help out as much as I can, so Van Helsing won't have any problem when it comes to catching that guy. I'm sorry that my motives aren't as honorable as yours, but I'm curious. I won't get in your way, so allow me to come. I'll come, of course. I'll come too, of course. If a vampire war is at the root of all this, it concerns me as well. As long as we're going together, after all, fine. So, as long as you don't get in my way. Stop being a sin. Amidst all this, Victor timidly raises his hand. However, there's one thing that's bothering me. What is it? If the target's as well guarded as you say, don't you think the vampire will simply not attack tonight? That's not possible. Deli suddenly speaks up. There's no point in increasing the number of people present. It'll only fuel that man's anger. What are you talking about? Do you know something about the murderer? Yes, I can tell from the scene that we saw today. It was the aftermath of a fight involving my father's highest subject. Oh god, how do I say this name again? He was referred to as Nun Nuentote. I'll just go with that. I guess man was very happy to have friends come with him. He was feared by humans and respected by our race as one of the great vampires. He was also my master in the art of battling. Van Helsing, I'm sure you recognize this name, don't you? Yes. If you intend to capture this man, I will come with you. I will attempt to convince him that, as the vampire leader, I cannot stand by and watch a subject of mine fall into darkness. I advise against that. Why? What right do you have to stop me? As you saw from the disastrous condition of the crime scene, he destroys his targets with immense hatred. If he were to find out that you have been acting alongside humans, he will likely try and kill you too, despite your status. No entote. Thank you! I guess it means ninth death? I don't know. Will you be able to fight one of your own kind? Could you fight against the death of your own master? That's... If you don't go into battle with the intent to kill him, you will die. You don't need anyone slowing... I don't need anyone slowing me down. You should stay here. Deli says nothing more to Van Helsing. Actually, he's probably shocked into silence. That night at midnight. I don't need the police to guard me. I've hired some of the highest skilled bodyguards out of my own pocket. A voice. They're all heroes from the Vampire War. There's nothing to be afraid of, no matter what comes our way. It's German! Okay. I don't know that much German. I know a little bit. Mostly swear words. That's because of my grandfather. Such an annoying voice. However, considering what happened to Viscount Brandel, there's no harm in strengthening your personal guard. If anyone were able to find out that I was under police protection because of a single vampire, I'd be a laughingstock. I know what that man did. He believed a ridiculous rumor that the blood of vampires brings eternal life. He drained the blood of many vampires who were captured and killed them. He can never be forgiven. Words flash in the back of his mind as hundreds of screams from the past eat away at his reasoning. Yep! It's because this chapter's long, and I was just trying to get through it. They can never be forgiven. Please, please, not my son! Mummy, Mummy! The voice echoes through his mind. Stop. Voices go on, never stopping. Mother. They can never be forgiven. Humans can never be forgiven. No! His Nuentote's voice echoes through the dark streets in the night. While everyone is shocked, the bodyguards are the first to take action. The all quick They all quickly aim their guns before any of them can pull a trigger. Nuentote is twisted the neck of in an unnatural direction as it snaps under his extreme strength. No! As the guard after guard crumbles to the floor, people passing by on the streets hear the screams from inside the building. People are running for their lives, but his anger doesn't subside. This is nothing. Compared to the tragedy 2 years ago, this can't even compare. Fire! Fire! Bullets fly through the air. He ignores them and kills the shooters one after another. 2 and 3 bullets seem to pass through his body. It doesn't matter. If what he does even the slightest bit to dampen his anger or hatred or sadness he feels, then he will kill as many as it takes. It doesn't matter even if he dies. Ugh, you! A man in a police uniform draws his sword. He jumps forward, his fist already shooting forward to kill the man from Scotland Yard. The man rolls to the ground, but was able to deflect the blow slightly with his blade to avoid serious injury. Commendable. He suddenly stops. He's finally found his target, Molochi, trembling in fear at the carnage. Hey, old man! Over here! Over here! Run for it! Ah! He obeys his instructions shouted at him and begins to flee across the street. When he tries to follow... What? There's an intense burst of light and a cloud of smoke that clouds his vision. 2 men stand beyond the white cloud. They're standing in his way as if provoking him. Right. Victor, you better not mess with him and get yourself hurt. Whoa, shoot, what the freak? You too, Lupin. Don't make me have to perform any unnecessary first aid. I don't know who you are, but I will not hold back if any of you stand in my way. Nuentote stands up straight and then squares his stance and then begins running towards the interlopers with deadly intent. A fierce attack. The men avoid the blow just in time, but he doesn't pursue them. He has only one target. Molochi, I'm coming for you. He rushes to another alley. No matter where Molochi runs, he can follow him through by his scent. One whiff of that stench is enough. He will not escape. At that moment... Hey, old vampire man! I feel you, but you won't go any further. Behold the stylish man stopping before you. The name Impy Barbic... Gah! The fool is thrown aside, his body flies and headfirst into a pile of trash. There he goes, where he belongs. Funny, he thought that he had punched the idiot so hard to go straight through his ribcage, but the man is still alive. Oh, Impy, you shouldn't be sleeping out here. At the very least, you'll catch a cold. I'm not here by choice, ow. Another man steps from the shadows. A slender figure. This one looks enough to understand that this one is powerful. One look is enough to understand that this one's powerful. He will not so be easily dealt with. He hesitates for a moment. He is confident that if they fight, he will win. But the anger in his heart is directly solely at Molochi. He cannot let his target escape. Not that man. Oh! He leaps higher and higher into the night. Not to attack the thin man, but to avoid him. To kill Molochi. To appease the endless nightmares of anger and despair that cloud his mind. Oh my, what do we have here? Ow! Hey, Saint G, why aren't you going after him? You make it sound so simple, but not even the latest model of automobile could catch up with him.
He runs, leaving the voices behind. His senses are acutely heightened. The odor of Malachi's putrid perfume trails behind him, leading him straight to his quarry. Eventually, the alley opens up. He arrives at the bank of Thames River. Malachi is here, along with two others. One of them is you. A boy? The man he hates from the depths of his soul. The man who could not ever be forgiven. The man who betrayed and murdered his beloved king. You will pay. All of you. You weak humans. And you. Yes. Noon Tote's shout pierces through the darkness of the night. I instinctively back away, but Van Helsing remains calm and slowly raises his gun. There are no guards or police officers around. Van Helsing has had them keep their distance to avoid unnecessary casualties. This is the first time we've met face to face, Noon Tote. You. What are you doing here? I'm dealing with you. Van Helsing's tone is completely flat, not letting Nuentote's anger change at all. Cardia, send Malachi down to the sewer canal and get him away from here. Right this way, Mr. Malachi. Malachi and I walk towards the nearby entrances of the sewer. I turn back and look over at Nuentote's with a bitter feeling in my heart. His feet and legs are stained with blood, most likely not his own. The original plan would have been to intercept and attack him here by the river instead of staying at the mansion. But Malachi's rejected the idea, claiming that his public image would be more important. If only Malachi had listened to our directions, so many people wouldn't have had to die. He's cool. He is cool. There's a gunshot and a crash. Van Helsing must be fighting. Run as far as you can. I promise I'll come find you later. Why? Why must I debase myself by waddling through this god-awful sewage canal? It's the obvious way to avoiding the worst outcome. Just go. Silence! This is all your fault, isn't it? I shouldn't have had let those good-for-nothing police take charge of things to begin with. Fine. I don't care what you do. What'd you say? I heard what you did to the vampires. Van Helsing told me. So if you want to die and pay for the sins of your past life, I'm not gonna stop you. Fine, if you want me to go, I'll go. With so much indignation, Malachi runs into the sewer. I've been put in charge of keeping him safe, which means I really should go along with him. Gah! I suddenly hear Van Helsing shout. I strain my ears, but I can't hear any more gunshots. Could that possibly mean... Van Helsing! I hurry as fast as I can back to where they had been. Van Helsing is pointing his gun at Nuentote and the vampire intently watching him. It seems the worst is yet to come. I take another look at Van Helsing and realize that there's wounds all over his body and blood dripping from his mouth. Van Helsing, the unbeatable Van Helsing that I've seen do so much, is wounded? Van Helsing! Stay back. I almost run to his side, but he raises his voice sharply and I stop in my tracks. This man is strong. What's more troublesome? I won't forgive. Never, never forgive. Never. You humans do not deserve forgiveness. Nuentote looks up at the empty sky and screams so terribly that it sounds like it's tearing him up inside. The single-minded madness, I've seen it before. Oh, yes, hidden strength, no question. Van Helsing says this as if to reaffirm my memory. Most likely, Azoth himself subjected Nuentote to the hidden strength. But how? I don't know. But he's in a state exactly like Jack was in when we were in the sewer with him. Cardia, you go, girl! The boy got hurt. His sanity is gone. He's been driven by his desires and impulses at the war with nightmares from which he'll never wake. I remember how strong Jack had been. If hidden strength can bring out that much power in a human being, what would it do to a vampire who's already so much more powerful than humans to begin with? Stay back. I don't have the strength right now to protect both you and fight. But... Ah! Nuentote lets out a blood-curdling roar. Wretched filth that would harm my people, I will break you to pieces. Nuentote runs at lightning speed. Van Helsing able to accurately shoot at Nuentote despite his speed, each blast from his shotgun as bright flash in the dark. It's no use, no use. This is meaningless compared to the pain my people have suffered at your hands. However, even though he's been hit several times, Nuentote runs straight towards Van Helsing. The vampire's powerful fist sends him into the air. Van Helsing slams to the ground and continues sliding some distance on his back. Van Helsing! Ugh. Nuentote approaches slowly as if enjoying the sight of Van Helsing's suffering. When I see this, I start running despite myself. Damn it, Guardia, stop, stay back! I ignore him and place myself in between the two of them. No! Also, this makes the image I saw much more sense now. I pull off my right glove. The poison in my body is proof that I'm a monster. It's something that I loathe. But in this moment, I'm most thankful that I have this poison within me. What are you doing? Get out of here while you can. I'll buy us time until everyone gets out of here. It's the least I can do that much. Nothing with the images, but now I'm like, yeah. You're no match for him. Do you want to die? I can hear Van Helsing's pained voice from behind me, but I don't turn around. I simply stare straight ahead at Nuentote and take a fighting stance. In the past, someone precious to me died because of me. The pain and suffering of my people. I will avenge it here and now. I can't stand and watch someone else I hold dear die before my eyes. Stop, Guardia! Here and now! I will crush you. I can almost hear him say that as he advances towards me. I don't care if I'm no match for him. As long as I can protect Van Helsing, I don't back down and I lash out with a sharp blow. Then there's a frightful wind. Somehow the only thing that touches me is a blast of moving air. I made it in time. Deli? A small figure standing between us. It's Deli, who's supposed to be at the back of the mansion. He grabbed the wrist of both of us just as we were about to strike, stopping us just in the nick of time. The Nuentote had been out of control just a moment ago. When he sees Deli, some clarity seems to return to his eyes. Wake up, Nuentote! Don't you recognize me for who I am? I'm Dracula Delacroix, the son of the great Delacroix. You mustn't continue this way. As the leader of the vampires seeking revenge falls to me as my duty. There's no reason for you to taint your hands with something like this. You who swore loyalty to my father. He stands in front of me and Van Helsing and shouts at his fellow vampire. He seems to be much more mature than usual. Despite the situation, I find myself thinking that it must be his father's influence. You're defending humans. I'm not defending humans. I simply want to stop you. Stop me. Yes! Yes! You're merely strangling yourself. If this continues, you will only bring about your own ruin. Nuentote, you are my master, and as closest to me as a brother. I wish for you to give up on trying to fight them. Spend the remainder of your life someplace far away from humans. Give up fighting. You're telling me to forgive humans. No! I don't want to lose any more of my people. I don't want you to hurt yourself anymore. Deli, Deli desperately calling out to him, but right before our eyes, Nuentote's eyes cloud and give off an eerie glow. What are you talking about? That's impossible. Humans tried to eradicate our people. They must pay for what they've done. There is no way to forgive the actions there is no way for their actions to ever be forgiven. They can never be forgiven. With this shout, he stamps his foot and the ground around us begins to shake, as if the world is resonating with Nuentote's anger. Fine. If you want to betray your race for humans, then you are the greatest sinner, one who tarnishes the honor of our king. I shall send you to hell with my own hands. Huh? The attack is instant. Deli brilliantly intercepts the blow that was too fast for me to even see. Gah! Why? Why do you choose to stay among the humans when you have such power? Why do you not try to avenge us, your people? No! Humans are to be hated. I understand that, but Whatever he's trying to say gets cut off when Nuentode punches Deli with his other fist. Ugh! Deli! Nuentode, Nuentode doesn't attack him again. For some reason, hitting Deli seems to have hurt Nuentode worse than it did to the boy. No! The voice is so loud! There's a sudden gunshot and Nuentode is caught by an explosion. You're still able to move, Van Helsing. Van Helsing somehow finds the strength to stand up and is reloading his gun despite being short of breath. I'm the one you want, Nuentode. Help, Van. Van Helsing! I run towards Van Helsing, but Nuentode's fist is even faster, and the world seems to be slow as I see it coming. Guardia! Right before the vampire hits me, I'm thrown aside with a powerful force, and Van Helsing takes the blow in my stead. I hear bones cracking all the way from where I am. No, it's my fault! I'm fine. Go look after Delacroix. No forgiveness. No forgiveness. I will not forgive any of you. Nuentode shouts and jumps to create at some distance. I'm going to end all of you. Hi, Pepper. Hey, sweetie. He rushes forward with all his might. This intense murderous urge to kill Van Helsing is directed straight at him. Death to the enemy of our people. Death to the enemy of all. In response, Van Helsing, for some reason, he lowers his gun instead of pointing them at the enemy. What? No, no. I can't die yet. Van Helsing looks so vacant. I scream weakly. I can't die. When Tode approaches, death approaches. This is the end, Van Helsing. I won't die yet. Van Helsing is about to be killed. My fear is about to come to reality. I can't remember what I scream. But... his fist should have caught Van Helsing. Instead it cuts through the air and in Van Helsing's place. There are several explosive noises. And the next moment, Nuentode has crumbled to the ground and is down on one knee. Then, Van Helsing, who had somehow escaped Nuentode's attack and hit him with an explosive, walked towards us. His movements are superhuman. Could this be Van Helsing's full power on display? It's so much like... Van Helsing, what was that? It was a gamble. Maybe I thought that it would... Maybe it helped that I thought I was so desperate to live, though I'm hardly the type. I see. Van Helsing looks down upon Nuentode, sprawled out on the ground. The vampire lies there unmoving, as if looking up at the stars in the sky. A silent wave crosses the surface between the river. It's hard to believe that he was engaged in mortal battle moments ago. We stand together in this truly quiet moment in the night. Did I lose Van Helsing? So it would seem. I see. All I can do then is hope that you fall into the depths of hell. I wouldn't worry about that. I'm pretty sure that's where I'm going. Perhaps I'll see you there, Nuentode. I'm definitely not looking forward to that meeting. He laughs. Nuentode's voice is soft. Could this calm and gentle voice be Nuentode's true demeanor before he was overtaken by hidden strength? Strangely, my heart feels lighter, as if I was dreaming. It appears that this was one type nightmare to handle. Yes, I was trembling the whole time. Such screaming and roaring, making me feel guilty for surviving. However, what was most terrifying was that I alone would be saved from this nightmare when it was over.
I feel like I understand somewhat what it feels. Elaine died and Eddie lost her mother, and I didn't lose anything. Hearing New and Tote brings back these memories to me. God, New and Tote, I see you've recovered. I turn around to his voice and see Deli standing there, already looking a bit better. He draws closer to New and Tote and speaks to him. Come with us, New and Tote. I need you, Lord Delacroix. The boy's small hand reaches out to him. New and Tote hesitates, then. Slowly, New and Tote writhes in pain. What's the matter? New and Tote, talk to me. I, I, I hate humans. Everything. This world that took the world away from me. Impossible. Does Hidden Strength still have a hold on him? Deli, watch out! New and Tote is out of control. Silence! He's my subject! My precious comrade! Deli crouches over New and Tote. New and Tote thrusts his hand forward, and there's a horrible sound as his hand pierces not Deli, but Van Helsing, who had come between them to protect the young vampire. Van Helsing, what are you doing? Just run. Why would you? Van Helsing? As I run towards Van Helsing, New and Tote falls to the ground. He had punched through his own chest with his other hand, as if to put an end to his own madness. Deli, you're faster than me. Hurry and tell the others. I, I just wanted to save New and Tote. Why would you? Deli, hurry! Deli snaps back and runs off. Don't save Van Helsing! He doesn't respond to my panicked shout. Maybe some weird brainwashing thing that uses people's past to make them weapons. It is. Oh my god. Some time has passed since then. A peaceful sunset is outside the window. Oh, the boy, he's hurt. Van Helsing is sleeping on the bed. His breathing is even and his face is a healthy color. After that, Victor had arrived right away and given Van Helsing emergency treatment. His first aid was the first aid, as well as Van Helsing's own physical capabilities, helped him miraculously avoid any critical wounds. A few other factors came into play, and Van Helsing was able to keep his life. As for New and Tote, Scotland Yard said that they would conduct an appropriate memorial service, and Deli headed off with them. Rico, more concerned with New and Tote than Van. Everyone told me to rest in my room since the excitement must have made me tired, but I didn't want to leave Van Helsing's side. Somewhere in my heart, I had a delusional fear that he would die the moment I left him alone. Oh look, he's awake! Oh, you're awake! It's you. Why are you here? What happened? It's all over. We're back at the mansion. You're gonna be fine. I see. I'm so glad you're alive. So glad. Why would you care if I live or die? You're alive, and that's all that should matter to you. Don't worry about me. I shake my head softly at Van Helsing's quiet protests. 3,000 noon is cool. When I thought you were gonna die, I was so scared. It was scarier than thinking about my own death. Rip noon. That's why I'm so happy that you're alive right now. Thank you for living. I tell him everything that had been deep within my heart. I don't know exactly what this feeling is, but I just wanted to tell him everything right now. I don't care, Noon! You... What? When you tried to protect me and stood in front of New and Tote, I probably felt the same way you do now. It's... I don't know why, but it makes me so happy to know you're still alive. Yes! Don't ever do that again. It gave me a fright, but I'm grateful. Thank you, Cardia. You don't need to thank me. I'm always getting in the way. What are you saying? You're the one who treated me. When you yelled at me that you didn't want me to die, it made me happy. Makes me happy to know that there's someone who cares about my life. Helsing smiles. I had no idea he could smile so kindly. No one thinks of noon! At the same time, my chest tightens. What is this feeling? My mouth automatically opens. There's so much I want to tell him. Something I need to tell him. There goes Franny. Van Helsing. Damn it! Before I can finish, there's a knock on the door. I suddenly forget what I was trying to tell him in the first place. It's Stella Crocs. Cardia. You're in here, aren't you? May I come in? I open the door for him. Come in. Van Helsing! You're awake! Yep. Seems that Deli hadn't counted on Van Helsing being awake yet. Deli looks awkward but stands on the edge of the bed. Can I ask you something? What is it? Why did you save me? I'm gonna kill you in the near future. I haven't forgotten that. I fully intend to keep my oath. Then why did you save me? Did you think that I wouldn't be able to kill you when the time comes? Deli sounds embarrassed and offended, as if he's ready to start a fight with Van Helsing right now. No, I don't think that. Your anger and hate is understandable, thinking back on what I've done. I look down at the sound of guilt in his voice, knowing that Van Helsing must die eventually almost crushes my heart. Back then... What happened back then? I can't think that someone like you, would destroy my people for no reason. Deli speaks anxiously as if irritated by something. If I had a good reason, would you have made it alright to kill your people? What? If I had a good reason for what I've done, does it absolve me of any crimes? Van Helsing, once I've had my revenge, you can kill me. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. You... Dolly says nothing more. After a while, he leaves the room. He looks into the distance. It bothers me to see him so forlorn, and I ask him a single question. Van Helsing, do you want to die? He doesn't reply. He walks alone on top of massive walls surrounding London. He takes his time as if merely strolling. The lights of London, this city my father created, only shows its true beauty in the darkness. How beautiful it is. Chaos and fear are about to spread across the city. Interesting, interesting indeed. Fine, I'll play along with this game that you're hosting, just for a little while longer. I want to see what lies beyond it, too. The truth lies hidden beyond the chaotic screams and sea of blood. The wind blows gently and he runs his hand through his hair. The moon is the only thing that sees his gentle smile, a smile filled with both beauty and madness. It's the brat! Okay, and we're gonna... Was this the scene in the voice? Okay, and it's been a while, so I'm gonna take a break from this one now since I've been doing this for probably over 2 hours now. I'm sorry, Franny, we killed your best boy. Thank you for watching, though. I hope you had fun. I'll see you in just 2 weeks. Where did that come from? Bye bye.